we are.
A minute early, I might add.
Yeah, we are a minute early, but somebody's on watching, so I'm going to click on over to the comments, and we'll go ahead and get started, and hopefully people are hitting comments. And whoa, an intro now, too. It just says Facebook user, so we don't know who you are unless you register, I think, with StreamYard. But Dave can pull it up on his phone with the sound down, and we can see who's talking.
Identify yourself.
Yes, please identify yourself, unless, of course, you have already registered with StreamYard. And I'm sure there are directions on how to do that, and we haven't done it yet. Hey, Maddie. Maddie Lambert is here. Everybody else just okay. There we go. Now, can you see Kevin's on there, and we can see that he's on there. So he said, let's get this
sorted. Mike Maloney. That's no baloney.
Michael Maloney. We listened to Infinite Sonic. We will have our little quasi review, because it's not a full review. We haven't spent enough time for it. But I'm glad everybody's checking in. So tell me who else is on. You can see it on the other thing, since we don't have everybody registered yet for StreamYard.
Nobody else. Forget it.
There's at least a handful of people here. So there you go.
Okay. So Maddie Lambert, Kevin, Michael Maloney.
Okay. So do we look nice and professional? Can everybody hear us? Is everything going all right?
Does it sound all right?
Sounds fine from my end, and maybe we should have something different on the scroll. Like we could also have how to register. Hey, Vicky Salapande is here. Checking in. Woohoo! We can officially start the show now because Vicky's here. And we started the 30-second countdown in the show opener earlier than we probably should have. So lesson learned.
Learning things.
We'll get there. What does everybody think of Dave's new chapeau? Dave's got a new look. L-E-W-K. Look. What does everybody think? I think he looks extra handsome. Except Dave's sitting to your right now, and I'm confused by the orientation. Dave is also very confused by the orientation.
Yeah, I'm so messed up.
But we're not mirrored anymore, so you can read everything. And look, it says Star Wars above my head there.
That says it.
That way. So it's kind of like when we were using the Zoom platform before. But with StreamYard, we'll be able to simulcast to our YouTube page or Twitter. I don't think they have Instagram, so we'll figure it all out. Yes, it's definitely a Peaky Blinders.
It actually is called the Peaky.
So for Valentine's Day, I got Dave a gift certificate to get this from Boston Scally Caps. Is that the name of the company?
Mm-hmm.
And
Boston Scally Caps.
Because I went through all of them to look and to try to pick one out for you, and I'm like, no, he really needs to pick this himself. So he did.
This is actually called the Black Rose.
I can see your Funko Pops. Dave's look is very Charlestown.
There's actually a Charlestown hat. I'm getting it.
All right, so we picked StreamYard for a couple different reasons. One is we can see the comments live.
Bob Tarasi.
And the other is that we can simulcast to multiple locations without having to use multiple devices and such. So that's why we're using it. And also we can have guests. We can share videos like you saw our show opener. And we can have multiple guests and split the screen and all that good stuff. As soon as we figure out how to do that, we'll do that.
Really? Yeah. We're going to bring all kinds of great new stuff, Bob. That's why. As soon as I learn how to tie my shoes.
So let's go ahead and get cracking on the show because we only have a half an hour. Does Maddie Lambert, me, have to register? It'd be great if everybody registered. That way we can see who you are when you comment, but no pressure. I don't know if it steals, your personal data or whatever. I'm hoping it doesn't do much.
We're selling it anyway, aren't we?
Oh, Lewis Warren is here. Hi.
Lewis Warren.
So I took today off. I'm doing a lot of self-care me time because I'm really burning the candle at both ends with the job stuff. So I took today off. And I had a lovely day where I didn't leave the couch. I was still in my PJs until about 2 hours ago. And I was binging Godfather of Harlem, which is a show, I believe, in its third season on Epix.
I have not watched it.
Which I watched through Amazon Prime. I have an extra channel.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It takes place in the early 60s. There's a lot of historical figures in it. Forrest Whitaker is in it. He plays this notorious African-American gangster in New York. Vincent D'Onofrio is part of the mob. Malcolm X is in this. Muhammad Ali
Malcolm X
as Cassius Clay. It's a historical drama, so it does have some historical figures in it. Sean O'Brien.
Giancarlo Esposito's in it.
Yeah, it's a great cast. And I just needed something to binge. Especially part of my self-care is that I just like to get lost in a show and not have to think about all the stressors in life. So that's why I'm watching it. But so far, so good.
Lost in shows and I don't
So Godfather of Harlem, if you have access to Epics, not a bad
so far,
show.
what
Pretty
I've
good.
seen of it, I like.
Yeah. There's a bunch of different storylines going on, but yeah, it's coming together. We're a little torn on Snowpiercer. We're all caught up. Michael O'Malley is back. Thank you, Mike O'Malley.
They're lucky.
However, I'm losing interest in this show fast.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you guys think.
I don't know.
It's bumming me out big time. And the whole
the train is losing momentum.
And suddenly, what's his fate? Leighton is having visions of a life tree and a new Eden, and I'm kind of like, I think you may have lost me there. Gilded Age on HBO Max. Is anybody else watching this? I'm a huge Downton Abbey fan, like unabashedly.
What would you like about that stupid show?
And I told you guys this last year, but during the pandemic, I was like, let's rewatch all of Downton Abbey and introduce Dave, and he loved it. So I'm hoping he'll get on board with Gilded Age at some point. It's by the creator of Downton Abbey. Christine Baranski is in it. She is marvelous and a national treasure as far as I'm concerned. Lewis said he's totally down with Gilded Age. So I hope you guys are watching it and we can chat about it. There's a power couple. They're New Money. And it's funny that they're talking about New Money with like the Rockefellers are New Money. The Astors are old money, but some of the people that we have come to think of as old money, in this time frame, they're the newbies that they don't want to let into the club, if you will. So the costumes and the sets are gorgeous. By the way, speaking of costumes and sets, we watched the first 2 episodes of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. They actually released them last night early. 2 new episodes every Friday for the next several weeks. And then they're only going to have 1 more season and the show's over. And let's just say once again, the true stars of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, other than the set design and the costumes, because those are amazing.
Stop doing that!
Is Kevin Pollak and Tony Shalhoub as the 2 fathers of Mr. and Mrs. Maisel. Oh my God!
So good.
It's like watching a masterclass. It's truly amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's just it's really like you're seeing a show on Broadway. It's like upstairs, downstairs, or whatever, like Barefoot in the Park or something. It's rapid fire. It's by the creators of Gilmore Girls, so they're going crazy with the dialogue. But it's very cool, and I'm glad we're going to have 1 more season of that. Before we get to the other stuff that we watched, do we want to give everybody an update on what's going on with you? Because last week we told everybody that Dave had a hiatal hernia. Turns out he does not. He had a scan this week.
Yeah, I get to drink the barium this week.
Yeah, and do all that fun stuff.
The live x-ray taken.
But he can't lie down. He had to do it standing up. So it's not, it mimics a hiatal hernia, but it's actually an elevated diaphragm.
One side of my diaphragm is higher than the other. It's being pushed up.
And his stomach is also being pushed up.
Okay,
if that makes sense, right?
Let's not. My liver is being pushed forward and up by my thinking,
right?
Possibly my.
Oh, okay. And the stomach, I thought the stomach was elevated as well.
It might be, but it does its own thing.
Yeah. So Dave is incredibly uncomfortable.
So, but the thing is that because the diaphragm is up, it actually interferes with your lung.
Even though his lungs are clear,
you feel like you can't get your breath.
Yeah.
Because there's actually something leaning on your lung inside. It's pretty much torture.
Yeah, so Dave's been in a lot of torture, and I feel terrible because you're finally being so proactive about your health, and you're getting your ass handed to you. It's not nice. So, Maddie says, "Can you sing even better now?" No, not yet. He can't. He has trouble even talking. Sometimes he'll go into a coughing fit. It just happened right now, which is why I mentioned it.
It's actually giving it to me right now.
Yeah. It's tough.
But thanks, Maddie.
He's had to sleep in a chair lately. He can't lie all the way flat on his back. It's
super good.
But at least we know, it's like, okay, well, you have information now. You don't have this, but now we still don't know exactly what's causing this. So onward we go. So there we are.
I don't know how we get to the bottom of it, or if it ever comes to a conclusion that's satisfactory. Because if I have to live like this, it's like, I don't know.
I will say this, though. You're doing everything you can. You have changed what you're eating.
Nuh-uh.
You have been moving more.
Yeah.
And, it's all going to be okay. So there. We'll get there.
Well, you said so.
But there's just a lot of stressors going on. So if you're like, did that girl really buy the new Boba Fett tracksuit jacket? I did. Because I'm stressed. Thank you. We have to take care of ourselves. Casey Riddles, that mustache is Magnum PI worthy. And
nice, pal.
It totally is. Casey, I almost consulted you when I got him the gift certificate to Boston Scally Cap because you have the best Scally Caps of anyone we know. And I want to make sure that you think that, or you get your approval. Is it Riddles approved?
Dude, it has to have the button. If it doesn't have a button, I'm not down with it.
Maddie wants to see the jacket. Can you grab the jacket since it's right there?
Let me grab this here jacket right here.
It's pretty great.
All right, so shall I hold it up for you to point out
this is the new Boba Fett tracksuit jacket. There's pants too, but I wasn't really interested in that.
It's Adidas.
And there's that's Boba Fett's one of his insignias. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
And then there's some writing.
Cool
there's
writing.
3 dots down here. And then there's some
writing,
cool
on, the
writing on the sleeves. It's the other sleeve, I think.
Of course it is.
And it was not, it's like a $80
cool
jacket, but I had a big 20% off coupon. So there you go. We don't know exactly what that says yet. I think it's, Mandalorian for Fett, but who knows?
The FCC might be in touch with us. We don't know what it says.
But yeah, so I bought myself a new jacket because, things have been a little stressful.
Because I haven't been feeling well.
Yeah. And there you go. So Beyond Gilded Age, I know that Dave doesn't watch Euphoria, and I shouldn't be watching it. It's so not made for me, and yet I'm absolutely hooked. Can't get enough of the show. The main character, Rue, who is played by...
a kangaroo?
No, she's played by Zendaya. I always pronounce her name wrong.
It's Zendaya.
Is it Zendaya? Who's just lovely. But she's a drug addict in the show, and she's going through withdrawal in the last episode. And boy, was that not easy to watch at all. But it was pretty clever the way they showed it all. A little bit different than your normal thing. Riddle says that the sleeve on the jacket says Grogu forever. Sounds good to me. We watched a little bit of the Cosby doc on Showtime. Like, we have to talk about Cosby, I think it's called. Wow, eye-opening. Did I not know that he was doing a Spanish Fly bit in his comedy act for like 20 years? And yeah. So that was kind of effed up. And, it just shows how much good stuff he did. He single-handedly brought African Americans in to be stuntmen and stunt coordinators in Hollywood, because up until that point that he started in I Spy, they would have white stunt doubles painted black.
Blackface.
There were no
stunt doubles.
African American stunt doubles. So, he does all this good, and he's big in civil rights and all that, and then he's drugging and raping women. It's like, well, that's fantastic.
Moving right along.
Anyway, so it is a really good documentary if you have the stomach for it, I should say.
Maddie wants to know if we're going to watch The Fresh Prince.
I think we're only going to watch it. We might, listen, I think it's on Paramount Plus, and we don't have it. If you can watch the first episode for free, we'll check it out. But I really have like no interest in a serious drama.
I really don't.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was like a weird meme, funny thing that somebody put together, and that was awesome. And then they decided to make it for real, or that was all part of the marketing plan, and they had done it already. Either way, I'm not interested.
All right, can we get on to real stuff now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I just finished watching the whole series of Star Wars Rebels. Mm-hmm. I have to say I liked it.
Well, it certainly got a lot of stuff that showed up in The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, it definitely fleshes things out. And
well, Dave Filoni was heavily involved with that, and now he's running the show.
Oh no, he was the showrunner on that too.
Yeah.
So
it's good, and I'm glad that you know all that stuff, because I have trouble watching a lot of animated stuff for more than 1 or 2 episodes at a time, unless it's Gargoyles from back in the day.
I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in it. Definitely, they introduce some different stuff, and they do some tying together of loose ends and whatnot. And
Bo-Katan is in that as well. There's a lot of...
she shows up in it, but Sabine Wren is the main.
Yeah.
She's a Mandalorian,
right?
Who's kind of like on the run from her planet, pretty much.
Our producer Kevin Tachi says, FYI, the Bel Air version is decent so far. Very different from the Will Smith sitcom. Yeah, because it's a serious drama, right? And it's funny because we were telling my dad about it, and he's like, well, is Carlton going to be in it? And then we saw the dude playing Carlton. I'm like, yeah, but he's not doing the dance, Dad. Sorry. Yes, Sabine is a badass for sure.
Yeah.
What else were we going to mention about Rebels? Just the saber?
Oh, no, I mean,
saber?
The dark saber gets explained more in depth. The relationship and like the story arc of Darth Maul,
right?
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot more to Darth Maul than anything we've seen on any of the films. By the way,
Tano shows up in it a couple times.
Holly Cantor arrived late. We already talked about Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. We watched the first 2 episodes already, and we're loving it. And Kevin Pollak and Tony Shalhoub are the stars of the show.
Would you stop doing that?
Yeah, I don't know. Does Will Smith, is he making cameos in the show, or Jazzy Jeff for that matter?
We're gonna keep talking about that. I
don't want to talk about it anymore.
I'm not. No, it's my show. I'm not talking about it anymore. Okay.
The only thing I'm going to say about the Super Bowl halftime show was that it was great to see them all on stage in that arena and see all the dancers, and that Compton was in the house, and it was way too late. Hip hop should have been center stage on that halftime show many years ago.
It has been.
No, not an entire show.
Listen, I'll fight you after this show is over.
They've had little guests here and there.
Yeah.
No. And of course, everybody's calling it oldies. And my favorite thing was this new guy that I follow on Twitter said, listen, you need to stretch before the halftime show because we know you can still get down, but it's getting back up that's going to be an issue for you, which was hilarious. And the fat shaming of 50 Cent, please stop with that. He looked fine. I mean, yeah, he's not a 22-year-old anymore. And the dude was hanging upside down for a while. Leave him alone.
I never liked 50.
Oh.
Ever.
I think he was just very nice to look at and whatnot. Mm-hmm. You've also been watching a YouTuber. Do you want to explain a little bit about that before we move on?
Guys, he puts out videos.
And Bo is Beau, by the way.
Right. And he is, I'm not really sure exactly what he is. I think that...
I think he seems like he's some kind of a teacher.
Yes. The thing is, he's very up on things. And he looks like just the biggest redneck hillbilly you've ever seen. His beard and everything.
Yeah, he does look like a hillbilly, but then he starts talking.
He's got the southern thing, and then you're listening to him talk, and he just... I don't know how it is. I don't know how old he is, but he seems to know things.
Yeah, and Dave seems to be excited to learn them from him.
And he actually puts up... So I'm in a loop now, and I'm going to start drinking... No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, like you joined a cult?
Yes, it's a cult now, right? Yeah. I'm going to grow my beard all big and big. Yeah, the thing is that the guy has very well thought out subjects that he speaks about. And,
good to know.
Right. And he puts videos out on a daily basis. Like you might have heard, I guess, like 19 police officers from Austin, Texas got indicted today.
No, I did not hear that today, but I was also off the grid today for most of the day. But
either that or I was watching videos from like 2 years ago.
All right, so if you needed a YouTuber to watch,
Beau of the Fifth Column, guys. If you don't like it, I'll refund your money.
There you go. Let's turn on to music. We've been listening to Lucifer on the Sofa pretty much nonstop. That Spoon record is amazing. We even had it on the car when we ran into Jen Rada and John Brookhouse, who we had just talked about on the show last week.
Right.
Because we are fellow Spoon fans and we went to see them a few years ago together. So we were going out for a little Valentine's Day late breakfast brunch on Saturday. We went to Red's in Salem and we're pulling out to go. We scored an excellent parking space right in front of Red's, which never happens.
I kind of have a way.
And then there's Rada and Brookhouse, and we're like, bah, 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 hitting the horn, and we're waving, and they're looking right at us. No idea who we were. And I'm gonna like take that as a compliment, like because we haven't seen them in a while, maybe because we look so good and whatnot, but probably not. But that was funny. Car. I was like, we're listening to Spoon right now.
The different lease.
But yes, we did that, and then we listened to the new Infinite Sonic, which is the band from Bogota that we talked about, I believe, last year on the show. Michael Maloney, I believe, is friends with... I believe,
is it Mike Lau? I think it is. And
what's the name of the new record? Do we remember the name of it?
Oh, God. Loose Ends?
I think so.
Loose Ends Volume 1, I think
but
it is.
you can search Infinite Sonic, and they're on all the major platforms. The new record, there's a song called Let's Go Shadow Dancing that I really like. And I think Dave really likes that one too, and the two of us together.
That's more of a rocker.
Yeah,
but we just started listening to it, to be fair.
Yeah, it definitely has a bit of a Styx arena rock vibe in a way, and I'm not sure if it's just his vocal tone that's giving me that, but I'm digging it. I'm not hating it at all.
You also said maybe a little sparksiness on the at least
a little bit of sparks.
The first
song. And
Casey
and Sean are talking about Trona. And what else? So the other big thing about music is we're going to go to a show tomorrow night.
No way.
Oh my God!
Say it ain't so.
And no, it's not Tool at the Garden, but I kind of wish it was. But I can't deal. I can't go to a show like that at this time. Not ready for anything like that. Premiere on Broadway in Somerville, which I'm assuming is the old Good Time Emporium. Can anybody confirm?
No, it's not.
Oh, where is it?
If it's on Broadway, it's on Broadway.
Oh, okay. So is that where whatchamacallit used to be? Once?
No, that's Highland.
Oh, that's Highland. So what's on Broadway? Why can't I think of Broadway in my head?
Broadway is the one that goes right up over Winter Hill. That's Broadway.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so I'm thinking it might be in Magoon Square.
Okay. Has anybody been there yet? Maddie is shooting Tool tomorrow night. I'm so jealous,
Tool
Maddie.
shooter.
Sean says it's run by awful people, sadly.
Well, don't ruin it for us.
No, that's okay. Listen, we want to go see Bikini Whale and Stop Calling Me Frank. So I just really want to go out and see people. Yeah, Sean says it's just outside Magoon.
Smell them.
Sean, is there parking? Because let me tell you something. If there's no parking, I'm turning around and going home like an old person
Sean,
that I am.
It is just right outside of Magoon Square. All right.
So we just really want to go see Bikini Whale because our friends are in the band and we like B-52
stuff. I think that Josh just has to walk out his door, go up onto Broadway, and sit on the and just roll down the hill.
Yeah, he lives
and at the bottom of the hill is the place.
Nice, very true. So if you guys are out and about tomorrow night, we're gonna attempt to hit that show. Looks like Tsunami of Sound is at 9. Stop Calling Me Frank at 10, and Bikini Whale at 11. It's $15 at the door. Vaccination proof required for entry, and masks required when not eating or drinking, per the city of Somerville's mandate. Although that may have changed by this point. I know all the towns around here seem to be loosening up that stuff.
I've been kind of keeping.
So Josh is also shooting the Tool show and then going to his show. Nice. Riddles. To be fair, that's Dave's favorite saying right now.
It's not.
Yeah, it's in heavy rotation. Overly Over was very big 2 years ago.
No, I made Overly Over.
Yes, I know. But
that's
then you
my
have
phrase.
Not For Nothing. That's definitely one. And
yeah, no, Not For Nothing. Overly Over is my phrase. Okay.
Yes.
And Not For Nothing. To be fair, isn't that
to be fair,
well worn?
Also, I just wanted to update everybody on the Super Bowl snacks. We did great. I made the tangy chicken meatballs with the pork panko breadcrumbs.
Holly says that it's Muck and the Myers and not Tsunami of Sound.
Oh, did that change?
Or did you just have it wrong?
I pulled it directly off Bikini Whale's Facebook page. So if it's Muck and the Myers, then I apologize.
Right.
Didn't know that.
So much the better.
I just cut and pasted.
I don't know who.
Holly, are you going to be there?
Sound is. Does anybody know somebody in Tsunami of Sound?
Yeah,
Bueller?
Matt said it changed, or somebody said it changed.
Okay, it changed.
Holly said it changed. Okay. So then Muck and the Myers at 9, I'm assuming?
Which we dig, little garage rock never
Super
hurt
Bowl
anybody.
snacks were a huge success. We still had our dips, but we dipped with raw vegetables, crudité, if you will, instead of chips or crackers, and it definitely helped. Maddie says Tsunami of Sound are surf rock, really tight. So they no longer on the bill at all, or is Muck and Myers on as well? That's what I'd like to know. Alliteration is fun. Yes, it is, Riddles. I'm just happy you're here. Super Bowl was good. Happy you're here. I did another weird self-care thing last weekend that I wanted to share with everybody. Ready? Don't my eyes look really pretty? I had a lift and tint. Who knows what that is? I certainly didn't until I found the Groupon.
She's like, I'm going to get a tint lift. And I was like, hey!
So I laid down for like an hour and they tinted my lashes and then they lifted them, meaning they put like a perm solution on them and they curl. So they look a little more, I don't know, poppy, feminine, I don't know. But you put mascara on them and it's almost like having fake lashes. So it's nice to wake up in the morning and it looks like you already have mascara on. I'm like, oh, look, it's me. Only I don't look like a ghost or the dead.
You're
Yay!
Like, oh, shit, another night sleeping in my makeup.
Yeah, it is funny that you do have to sort of get over that. So, and then I got a mani-pedi, but you guys know that because that's why we were late with the show last week. So.
Mani-pedi.
Yep. That's kind of it. That's kind of all we got. What do you guys think of the StreamYard situation?
StreamYard is fast.
It's pretty cool, though. It's nice to be able to control and have an opener and a countdown, and we'll be able to have guests on as soon as we, test drive that and learn. I literally just learned how to do this today. So, ta-da! And we got
I'm still getting used to the way this is. It's totally messing me up.
It'll take us a minute to get acclimated,
I'm really thrown for a loop over here.
So Maddie says it's interesting. I registered, but I'm confused on how it works with Facebook. As are we. There's some kind of thing that walks you through it that I probably didn't enable yet, so I apologize for that. I'll go back and try for next time. So that is it. We have 3 minutes left. Casey, I got more questions for you all. Then fire them away now because we literally have 3 minutes and then we're going to eat dinner because we're starving. And by going to eat dinner, I mean dinner's on the stove waiting for us. We're also going to watch the Kingsman prequel, which is called The King's Man.
With Rafe
Fiennes.
Rafe.
Yes, Maddie watched Boba Fett. Great ending. Yes, it was awesome. And I really don't want to hear it about how it was only good when he wasn't in it. Not going to have a fight about that at all. Oh, Casey says when he's a guest. Yes, when you're a guest, you will have more questions for us. Fine. totally fine. We're not having you on as a guest, though. I'm just kidding. Of course, we're gonna have everybody on as soon as we figure out how to do it.
I was sad for little Riddle Sam.
Yeah, no, I love Sam, but I disagree. Yeah, Sam Avola kind of did go heavy-handed with the trashing of the Boba Fett. For the Boba Fett original OG fans,
listen, he's just mad that
we're just happy it's there.
He's mad that there weren't any, like, I don't know, pit bulls in the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, is that what it was?
Yeah, I think so. That's like, he's like, I could have totally put Dino right over here.
I think that no matter what, Boba Fett was such an iconic character for us because we didn't know a lot about him. Turns out he's not the smartest dude in the world. But, he's a survivor, and he's scrappy. And I had no problem with getting him on a show for one season. What?
Did you just call Boba Fett a scrappy survivor?
Yes, I did. Because he is.
This is the story of a scrappy survivor.
Are you going to Casey Kasem us out? Go ahead, do it.
This is Casey Kasem. Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
All right, we love you guys. We'll see some of you tomorrow night and the rest of you right back here Friday night at 7:30. All righty, goodbye. Love you. Thanks for watching the show.